Picture this. You're at a dinner party. You know the kind. Low light, quiet music, the sound of glasses clinking, and you look across the table and you see it. On someone's wrist. A watch. And it is stunning. Just one of those objects that seems to bend the light around it. The case is polished like a mirror, the strap looks impossibly soft. But as you lean in, trying to sneak a peek at the time, your brain just short circuits. Something is seriously, fundamentally wrong. The numbers on the dial, they're a complete mess. A total jumble of digits scattered everywhere. It honestly feels like a prank. A beautiful, perfectly made, and very, very expensive joke. What on earth is going on here?
This isn't a mistake. And no, it's not broken. This is the Frank Mueller Crazy Hours. And it's a watch that, for a second, seems to completely defy its own reason for being. The numbers are all over the place, right? Seemingly random. And yet, it tells the time, flawlessly. See, at the top of every hour, the hour hand doesn't just sweep over. Oh no, it jumps. It snaps, like lightning, clear across the dial to find the next correct number, no matter where it's hiding. It's this incredible mechanical dance that's designed to look like pure madness. And it is the perfect doorway into a world of secrets, hiding just beneath the surface of the watches we think we know.
Because that's really what this is all about. Secrets. These little horological Easter eggs. The tiny, ingenious details that turn a simple time-telling machine into a puzzle box, or a secret handshake, or even a hidden story. What looks like chaos, like on the Crazy Hours, is actually pure genius. It's a challenge, right? A challenge to the very way we think about reading time. And trust me, it is just the first step down a very, very deep rabbit hole. So today, we're going hunting. We're going to find the secrets hiding in plain sight, on the dials, under the crystals, and deep inside the movements of some of the most famous watches in the world. Let's start with the most basic reason for a secret: plain old survival.
Now, the oldest reason for a secret is also the most practical one: security. The second you create something iconic, something everybody wants, you also create a target for fakes. It's just what happens. And for more than 200 years, watchmakers have been locked in this silent, high-stakes game of cat and mouse with counterfeiters, building in these tiny, almost invisible details that work like a secret handshake. They're this quiet signal between the brand and the person who owns the real deal. A hidden language that just says, yep, this one's real. And there is no better place to see this fight play out than with the king.
Rolex. The name itself is basically a synonym for luxury, and unfortunately, it's also a synonym for fakes. The counterfeit market is this massive multi-billion-dollar global beast, and you could argue it was built on the back of Rolex designs. And the fakes, they've gotten terrifyingly good over the years. Which means for Rolex, security isn't some cool marketing feature. It is an absolute necessity for their survival. They've had to constantly push, constantly invent new ways to stay just one step ahead. And one of their most famous tricks is so subtle, so impossibly tiny, that most people who own one will go their entire lives without ever even knowing it's there.
So starting back around 2001, Rolex brought out a new weapon in this war, a super high-powered 5-axis laser. And with it, they started etching a microscopic version of their crown logo directly into the sapphire crystal right there above the 6 o'clock marker. Now, what makes this so genius is how incredibly hard it is to actually see. You can't just glance down and find it. No way. You need a proper jeweler's loupe, maybe the flashlight from your phone. You have to get the angle just right, and then suddenly, the light catches it and this little ghost crown just appears. It's made of hundreds of tiny little dots burned at different depths inside the crystal. The counterfeiters? Oh, they try, but they can't get the precision. Theirs is usually too deep, too obvious, or the dots are just a mess. And get this, a secret within the secret. If you ever get your crystal replaced by Rolex during a service, the new one has a tiny little S etched inside the oval at the bottom of the crown. It's a whole other layer of authenticity that is just brilliant.
But, laser etching is a pretty modern fix. Long before that, watchmakers had to find more analog ways to leave their mark. Take Omega, a brand with a history that's every bit as legendary as Rolex's. They've been playing the security game for decades, way before lasers were a thing, using a more old-school, almost tactile method for their most iconic watch of all, the Speedmaster Moonwatch.
This one's a personal favorite of mine. If you have a classic moonwatch with a hezolite crystal, that's the acrylic one that NASA demanded for spaceflight because if it shatters, it doesn't send a million tiny shards of glass floating around the capsule. If you have one, look right in the absolute dead center of the crystal. You might have to tilt it around in the light, just like the Rolex, but there it is, a tiny embossed Omega symbol. It's been there since the 1950s. It's not etched on the surface, it's physically molded into the material itself. It's such a wonderfully subtle, low-tech way to prove it's the real deal. It's so faint, but once you know it's there, you can never unsee it. It just goes to show these little security marks aren't just about stopping fakes. They become part of the watch's story, a piece of its character that connects you right back to its incredible history. So from the tough, functional secrets of Rolex and Omega, we move to a brand where design is everything, Cartier. You'd expect their secret to be elegant, to be discreet, and to be perfectly woven into the look of the watch, right? And you would be 100% correct. They found a way to hide their own name in plain sight, in a place you would never, ever think to look. Okay, so on a Cartier with Roman numerals, you have to look really closely, specifically at the 7 o'clock or the 10 o'clock marker. On most of their watches, one of the little lines that makes up the V in the 7 Voix, or the X in the X, it isn't just a printed line. It is the word Cartier, written in microscopic letters. I'm telling you, it is unbelievably tiny. It's a technique just like the microprinting they use on money, and it is incredibly hard to copy cleanly at that size. Fakers usually just smudge it into a thick line or they don't even try. It is the perfect secret for Cartier, a signature that protects the watch without for one single second messing with the perfect beauty of the dial. Just pure class.
Now, these security marks are brilliant, but at the end of the day, they're functional, they have a job to do. But the next level of secrets, it's different. It's more personal. This is where we move beyond just protection and we get into personality. It's that moment when a watchmaker decides to leave a mark, not just to prove that a watch is real, but to prove that a human being, an artist, poured their heart and soul into making it. This is where the brand's signature becomes the artist's signature.
And absolutely no one, I mean no one, does this better than the German masters at A. Lange & Söhne. When you flip over any of their watches, you see one of the most beautiful movements ever made. And right there, holding the whole beating heart of the watch in place, is the balance bridge. It is not finished by machine, it's engraved completely by hand with this intricate floral pattern. But here is the magic. Every single engraver at the company has their own personal style. You know, the way they carve a petal, the depth of a line, it's like a fingerprint. And because of that, no two A. Lange & Söhne watches are ever truly identical. Each one has the unique, unrepeatable signature of the artist who finished it. It's a secret that tells you not just what you own, but who made it for you.
Now, this whole idea of a secret signature feels so modern, but it's really not. In fact, it all started with this man, Abraham Louis Breguet. He was pretty much the Leonardo da Vinci of watchmaking. The tourbillon, automatic winding, shock protection, so much of modern watchmaking, he invented it. But back in 1795, he had this huge problem in Paris. His watches were so famous that the market was being flooded with cheap, terrible fakes, and they were destroying his reputation. So what did he do? He invented the very first secret signature, using a special machine to etch his name onto the dial in a way that was almost invisible. It was the original anti-counterfeiting tool, born out of pure necessity, and it really set the stage for every secret we've looked at so far.
Okay, so we've had secrets for security and secrets for artistry, but what happens when a secret is more than just a mark? What if it's a whole story, a piece of pop culture, or a tribute to a moment of unbelievable human courage hidden right there on your wrist? This is where these Easter eggs go from just being clever details to being, well, truly magical.
To get the next secret, you have to know this story. It's 1970. The Apollo 13 mission is crippled, hundreds of thousands of miles from Earth. An oxygen tank has just exploded. Houston, we've had a problem. The onboard digital computers are dead. To have any chance of getting home, the astronauts have to perform a perfect 14-second engine burn to get back on course. If it's too short, they miss Earth entirely and drift into space. Too long, they burn up in the atmosphere. Their lives are hanging on these 14 seconds. And what do they use to time it? Their NASA-issued Omega Speedmasters. The watch works perfectly. They make it home. And to recognize this absolutely life-saving performance, NASA gives Omega its highest honor for mission success, the Silver Snoopy Award. Snoopy, from the Peanuts comics, was a sort of safety mascot for the astronauts. And this incredible real-life event led to one of the most playful and beloved Easter eggs in the entire watch world.
This is the Omega Speedmaster Silver Snoopy Award 50th anniversary. From the front, it's a gorgeous watch, but all the magic is hidden on the back. You see this beautiful, photorealistic moon on the caseback and a tiny Earth spinning way off in the distance. But the real show starts when you push the chronograph button. A tiny little Snoopy in a spaceship emerges from behind the moon and starts flying across the star-filled caseback, making a full trip as the second hand sweeps. It's a mechanical automata,
A secret little movie on your wrist that only plays when you ask it to. It's whimsical, it's brilliant, and it is a genuinely moving tribute to a moment when a simple mechanical watch helps save the day.
Omega clearly loves doing this kind of thing. Let's look at another Speedmaster, the Speedy Tuesday Ultraman. It's a special edition paying tribute to a super rare vintage model that was in this 1971 Japanese sci-fi show, The Return of Ultraman. At first glance, it looks like a pretty standard Speedy, with some nice orange touches. You look at the running seconds subdial over at 9 o'clock, and you see nothing weird at all. Just a plain black subdial. Or is it?
And this is where the fun starts. The watch actually came with a little tool that has a UV light on the end, and when you shine that light on the subdial, a secret is revealed. The silhouette of Ultraman's helmet, which is painted in a special orange luminous material, suddenly glows to life. It is completely invisible in normal light. It's a detail made purely for the fans, for the people who know the story and who get that deep, nerdy reference. It's an Easter egg in the purest sense of the word. It's a hidden nod to this piece of cult TV history that just makes you smile.
So far, we've seen secrets on a watch, hidden in plain sight. But what if the secret is the watch? This is the final level. This is the most profound kind of secret there is. It's when a watchmaker takes one of the most complicated, most difficult functions in all of watchmaking and hides it completely, masking incredible mechanical genius behind a face of extreme, almost defiant simplicity.
First, you got to understand what a perpetual calendar is. It's what's called a grand complication. It's basically a tiny mechanical computer on your wrist that knows how many days are in every month. It even knows about leap years, and it never needs to be adjusted. It is an absolute masterpiece of tiny engineering. And for centuries, watchmakers have loved to show off all that work. The dials are usually covered in subdials for the day, the date, the month, the leap year. I mean, they can be beautiful, but let's be honest, they can also be a real headache to read quickly.
Okay, so with that in mind, look at this. This is the H. Moser NC Endeavor Perpetual Calendar. It has that exact same incredibly complex complication inside it. The day, the date, the month, the leap year, it's all there. So my challenge to you, just looking at this, is where is it? Where's all that information? The dial is so clean, so minimalist. It looks like a simple watch that just tells the time and date. But it is so much more. The genius is hiding in plain sight.
This is the heart of Moser's whole philosophy. Look very closely. There is a tiny, short little hand right at the center of the dial, almost hiding under the main hour and minute hands. That is the month indicator. It uses the 12-hour markers to point to the 12 months of the year. 1 o'clock is January, 2 o'clock is February, and so on. It is so simple, so shockingly intuitive, you really do wonder why nobody ever thought of it before. The big date window is there, of course, and the leap year indicator? Oh, that's hidden away on the movement itself. You can only see it through the sapphire caseback. It's just for the owner to see. This is the ultimate act of watchmaking confidence. Moser took one of the loudest, most boastful complications and taught it how to whisper. The secret isn't just a feature on the watch. The secret is the watch's entire philosophy.
So we've been on this incredible trip, right? From ghost crowns to hidden superheroes, from an artist's personal fingerprint to an entire grand complication hiding behind this mask of simplicity. We've seen secrets that are practical, secrets that are personal, and secrets that are truly profound. If I had to pick just one, which one really captures the soul of the horological Easter egg better than any other?
For me, it has to be the Moser. It just has to be. And here's why. The other secrets, as amazing as they all are kind of additions to the watch. The Snoopy animation, the Ultraman loom, the Cartier signature, they're incredible layers on top of the watch's main job. But the Moser's secret, the secret, is its function. It completely rethinks how a grand complication should even be shown. It's a secret that rewards intelligence and knowledge over just showing off your money. It doesn't scream, "Look at me, I'm super complicated and expensive." It just sits there, quietly perfect, waiting for someone who knows the secret to truly appreciate it. That is the absolute essence of that if you know feeling that makes watch collecting so addictive. It's a watch that was built for the person wearing it, not for the people looking at it.
So there you have it, a journey through the secret world of watchmaking. From security marks designed to win a silent war, to an artist's unique signature, to stories of heroism playing out in miniature, all the way to a kind of mechanical genius that prefers to hide. These secrets remind us that sometimes the most interesting things aren't the ones that shout the loudest. They're the quiet details, just waiting for you to find them. It's this whole world of hidden stories, and it makes you wonder what else is out there. Like the story of the Patek Philippe watch that had an actual secret compartment built into the case to carry a tiny photo. But that's a story for another time. For now, the question is, Which of these secrets would you choose? The functional, the artistic, the playful, or the profound? If you enjoyed this story, subscribe. New watch stories every week. Watch everything. Tick drop.